Hello and welcome to Criswell Automotive Field here in sunny Gaithersburg. A matchup between the reigning division champions in the Cal Ripken League, the North Division champion from last season, the Gaithersburg Giants, playing host to the South Division champion, Alexandria Aces. These two teams have yet to face off in this early season, but both of them find themselves in spots that they did not see themselves after last year. To start this young season, the Giants went 0-3, got their first win over the weekend against the Bethesda Big Train, had a Sunday date against the Aces here in Gaithersburg before the weather said, no, you guys will have to wait until Tuesday. They're now 1-4 after falling to the Senators for a second time in Waldorf last night. 9-3 was the final in that one. The Giants left 14 runners on base, and they'll look to put more across the plate here this afternoon. Meanwhile, for the Aces, they're 2-3, tied for second in the South Division, as they look to put their foot on the gas, and get back to the top of the South Division. Nick Carl's on the mound for his second start of the season for the Giants. Walk had 5 strikeouts for the Towson Tiger, his third season with the Giants. First at bat for the Aces will be Trip Capers, the sophomore from George Mason. First pitch from Carl, getting a swing and miss is Carl's. 0-1. Finds the inner part of the zone. Now quickly up 0-2 on Capers. Capers batting .250 across 8 at-bats early in this season. 0-2. Check swing. Called strike 3. 3 pitches, 3 strikes for Nick Carls. And his first punch out of the game comes in his first batter. Carls misses upstairs on Derek Almeida, the sophomore from Chaffee College. This one fouled back into the fence. Count will go even at 1-1. From Carls on the way. Misses upstairs again, now 2-1. Almeida hitting .313 across his first 3 games here this summer. That one misses upstairs again, now 3-1. Has 5 hits across 16 at-bats. Just 1 lone walk. He's up 3-1. Full count pitch from Carls. Upstairs, and the first base runner is Derek Almeida via a walk. After a 3-pitch strikeout to start off the game, Carls issues just... Almeida takes off. This one's hit hard into center field. Under it to make the grab is Brady Ruiz-Weiss, and now he'll throw all the way back to first. Not in time for the double play, but he does keep Almeida at first base.
For the Aces, Riley Norton.
So a loud but unproductive out for Gavin Miller. That one coming off the bat at 92. And that'll bring up Riley Norton. The Elon product. First pitch to him is fouled off down the first base line. Oh, 1 to Norton. Almeida dancing on first. Pitch delivered. This one fouled again. This time up into the netting. Down the first base line. Norton's been late twice now. He's going to have to adjust to Carls, pitching in the mid to high 80s to start his second start of the season. 0-2. Swing and a miss. 2 strikeouts in the first inning. And Nick Carls will have his team grab the bats And we'll step away here on the Gaithersburg Giants Broadcast Network. Welcome back on the Gaithersburg Giants Broadcast Network. I'm David Lewis, here for tonight's matchup between the reigning division champions in Gaithersburg. The starting pitcher on the mound for the Aces is Thomas Cetro. The sophomore from Seton Hall will face off against a couple Seton Hall Pirates, just one Seton Hall Pirate in the lineup tonight for the Giants. Magnus Krieger with one game already strikeouts in that first appearance. To the plate now, the Yale Bulldog got the loud flyout off the bat of Gavin Miller in the top of the first, and now will look to produce a loud contact himself, seeing if he can get on base. First pitch from Sestro, squaring to bunt is Ruiz Weiss, and this one goes foul. That's been a staple of Weiss's game in the early going. Specifically that game against the T-Bolts, that second game of the season. He squared to bunt in, I believe, 4 out of his 5 at-bats that night, or 3 out of his 4. It was all but 1 in that second game of the season. 0-1, swinging away and swinging a miss. Oh, 2, misses upstairs, now 1-2. One-two count to Ruiz Weiss. This one way outside, now 2-2. Center field, under it to make the grab, however, is... And that'll bring up Danny Orr. Last night in Waldorf, Orr went just 1 for 5, but he had 2 very loud flyouts and has a lot of power in his hands that he has gloveless, something you don't often see. He sends this one into center field, and that's down for a base hit. Danny Orr with the first hit of this game, and the first base runner for the Giants to bring up Aaron Babayev. Babayev also played last night in Waldorf, going 2 for 2 with a run, had 2 walks as well. Sestro delivers this pitch inside on Babayev. Babayev first, no tag applied, or back in safely. Having 66% of your hits be extra base hits bodes well. 1-0. Misses outside, out of the glove of the catcher Schumann, and Orr will easily take second base. And now Babayev likely going to keep the bat on his shoulder here, but does have a runner in scoring position. Babayev, who had a great opportunity at a possible RBI, but will instead take bright pink. Sestro delivers now. Streak. We'll see if Danny Orr is eager to take off from second base. Oh, 1 to Krieger. Inside. Count will go even at 1-1. One and one now from Sestro. Looks down Orr on second. Babayev on first. Pitch from Sestro. This one on the ground to the second baseman, Huber, who goes to second. And now Orr almost got caught looking at third. So Babayev just thrown out at second. Orr will take third. And Krieger will stand on first. The runners on the corners, 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. That brings up Joey Nicholson. First pitch to Nicholson, inside, almost hit him. Having to get out of the way. Nicholson will step back in now. Nicholson, after having an amazing spring for the junior college, Gaston College, has struggled in the early going, hitting just .083. Hits this one softly into right field. Under it to make the grab is Degnan, who gets the third and final out of the first inning. Giants create some trouble on the base paths, but aren't able to score. Danny Orr on third, and we'll head to the second here on the Giants Broadcast Network. His second inning of work, 2 strikeouts and a walk in that first inning, got through unscathed. And now he'll face the George Washington product, Odom Zayabzada. First pitch to Zayabzada, upstairs. Count goes to 1-0. After that 3-pitch there from Zayabzada. 1-1 from Carls. Misses low and in the dirt now, 2-1. Zayabzada. 2-2 pitch. This one hit softly into left field. Under to make the grab is Babayev for the first out of the second inning.
Number 40, Gavin Egan.
That brings up Degnan, the sophomore from UPenn, the one of two Ivy Leaguers in this game. Brady Ruiz-Weiss in center field being the other for the Giants. Swing and missing at the first pitch was Degnan. Foul tips this one back into the glove of Colin Hughes. He's down 0-2. Carl's looking for his third punch out. Can he get it here? 0-2. Fouled this one back into the netting. Degnan stays alive for now. Oh, 2 pitch again. Misses just outside. Colin Hughes trying to frame it up the best he can. Count will go 1-2. Colin Hughes making his first start behind the plate for the Giants. 1-2. This one hit straight up and over the netting. This might hit my rooftop. Sounds like it just hit the tree right next to where I am behind home plate. Sixth pitch of the at-bat coming to Degnan. Chops at this one. Over to third. Zach White, the normal catcher, makes a throw and just... Ball went out of play. And Degnan will go to second on that errant throw. Zach White, as I said, the normal everyday catcher, finds his way over to the hot corner. And it was a long stretch from Orr, and it just snuck under his glove. So Degnan, after being down 0-2, gets all the way to second base on a light chopper. That brings up one out there off the bat of DJ Schumann.
Number 9, Brady Hubner.
Another George Mason product in this lineup for the Aces. One-0 from Carls. Finds the ball. Troy Huber. Right next to each other on the lineup. And one letter difference. Carl's trying to find his fourth strikeout. This one popped up instead. Nicholson under it in right, and he makes the grab. So one lone base runner again for Nick Carls, but 0 on the board yet again for the Aces. And we'll step away here on the Giants Broadcast Network. Welcome back to Gaithersburg. I'm David Lewis. We get set. I've reached base 3 times when you include the drop third strike. That was his Giants debut, was in the designated hitter spot, but his
First up to bat, Colin Hughes.
both these teams coming off losses, as I mentioned pregame, but the Aces' loss was a narrow 3-2 loss to the T-Bolts last night in. Looks at this one on the outside. Good eye from Hughes. Count goes to 1-0. These appearances for them, 1-0. Late on it was Hughes, and up into the netting it goes. Now goes 1-1. One from Sestro to Hughes. Misses high and outside. Count goes to 2-1. Sestro with that one lone strikeout in his first start, and didn't get one in that first inning. Down 2-1 to Colin Hughes. That one misses outside. Now 3-1 hitters count for Colin Hughes. Had those 2 singles last night. No extra base hits for him in the big outfield of Waldorf. 3-1. Misses on the high inside corner. And that brings up the other catcher tonight, third baseman Zach White, brother of. First pitch to Zach White. Misses up. 73. Has appeared now in 4 games. No RBIs yet. He has Colin Hughes on first. Sestro delivers now. That one just misses high by about a ball and a half. Shortstop Almeida for the Aces saying good miss to Sestro. Barely, almost clipping belt high. Pitch to Zach White now. That one misses inside. Now 3-0. That's now 6 straight balls from Sestro. And if he doesn't place this one right, it's 3-0. Misses high, and it is a 4-pitch walk for Zach White. And that'll bring up Brady Powell. And now we'll get a mound visit from the Aces pitching coach. Sestro again just went 2 2/3 innings his first time out, and struggling here, just 1 inning pitched, as he has yet to record an out here in the bottom. Last night in Waldorf, went 1 for 4 with an RBI and a walk. Last night he was in left field, has transitioned more to the outfield, but tonight goes back to second base, where he spent a large portion of last summer when he played for the Giants in 2024. Now a junior from Radford with a runner in scoring position, second runner in scoring position for the Giants. Unable to score, Danny Orr, who made it to third last inning. Colin Hughes now standing on second, Zach White behind him on first. First pitch to Powell from Sestro. Misses low and outside. Behind the plate for the Aces. Always want to be careful with those throwbacks to not give away any free bases. 1-0 now to Powell. Inside, almost clipped Powell. Now 2-0. That's now 9 straight balls by my count from the arm of Thomas Sestro. A streak that no pitcher wants to have. 2-0. He finds the zone to break that streak. Now 2-1. Gavin Miller, the third baseman for the Aces, playing in, the only infielder playing in at the moment. 2-1 to Powell. Swinging away and fouling it off is Powell. Count goes even at 2-2. 89 likely would have missed the zone of Brady Powell. Was a little high. That's why Powell was over top of it. Fouled it back through the legs of Schumann. Now 2-2. Sestro trying to get his first strikeout in the first out. It is the first strikeout for Sestro of his outing. And now there's one away here in the bottom of the second. That'll bring up Aiden Marino. Marino has been phenomenal in the field with his glove. The shortstop currently in the portal. Squares to bunt, pulls it back, called strike either way. At 89 in the upper part of the zone. Sestro looks at Hughes, now delivers the pitch. This one put on the ground. Hubner fields it, flips it to short. The throw to first in time to turn the double play. And another runner left in scoring position for the Giants. It's 0-0, and we'll go to the third inning here from the Giants Broadcast Network. Welcome back on the Giants Broadcast Network. I'm David Lewis with you here from Criswell Automotive Field in Gaithersburg, Maryland. Nick Carls back on the mound for the third inning. Has 2 strikeouts thus far, facing the 9-hole hitter for the Aces, Owen Peterson of the Naval Academy. So an Armed Forces Academy, I guess, Naval Cadet at the plate. He squares to bunt, lofts this one. A diving play by White, not there in time in foul territory. It'll be 0-1 to Peterson. Peterson could probably give some diving technique pointers to Zach White to help him make that catch, but it was a tough play for the third baseman to make. 0-1. Owen Peterson lines it straight to Brady Powell. And there is out number 1 for Nick Carls here in the top of the third. Brings up Trip Capers. And the top of the order for the Aces. Struck out his first time up. This one misses high. Struck out on 3 pitches, that is, but he's up 1-0. Now on Carls to start his second at bat. This one misses high and inside again. Now 2-0. Plate. Now 2-1 from the Towson Tiger. Misses up high in the same spot as the second pitch. Now hitters count for Trip Capers. 3-1. One away here in the top of the third. 75. Looked like it was going to stay inside at that back leg of Capers, but broke just enough over the plate. Full count pitch from Carls. Popped up softly. Marino calls for it and makes the second out of the top of the third. Nick Carls, way to battle back after being down 3-1. Gets the inside call. Had that pitch just break over enough and reattacks to get a nice soft pop out to his shortstop, Aiden Marino. Who was aboard in Carl's misplacing that curveball that he found nicely on the previous batter. Meda now stands on first. First pitch, first hit of the game for the Aces. 1-0. Now put on the ground. Marino fields it on the run. Tosses it over to Orr for the third and final out of the top of the third. And we'll step away. Still knotted up at 0 here in Gaithersburg on the Giants Broadcast Network. Welcome back to Gaithersburg. Giants back up at bat here in the bottom of the third inning. Thomas Sestro back on the mound for the Aces. Has had some struggles to start this one. In Waldorf, trying not to repeat that, and played some runs here. Brady Ruiz-Weiss for his second at bat. First pitch, Weiss pops this one up into shallow right. Under it to make the grab is Degnan for the first out. One pitch, one out for Sestro. That'll bring up Danny Orr, who got the first hit of the game on Magnus Krieger's fielder's choice, but would be stranded there to end that first inning. First pitch to Orr. First pitch, he pops this one up. Under it, the shortstop Almeida makes the grab in the infield dirt. So 2 pitches and 2 quick outs for Sestro, who's going to love that. After last inning, he threw 9 straight balls. This inning, he's throwing 2 strikes and has 2 outs on the board. Now tied with his previous outing, his first start of the season, lengthwise. Babayev now at bat. Babayev cranks this one into right field, and that's down for a base hit. Babayev's now been on base both times he's been up. Magnus Krieger steps up. First pitch to Krieger. That pitch had a ton of movement. Moved from basically the inside all the way to the other batter's box. Sestro wanting different ball. That one maybe a little scuffed. 0-1 count now to Magnus Krieger. Finds the exact Sestro and maybe score Babayev standing on first. 0-2 gets out of the glove of Schumann. Babayev now goes into scoring position. It's now the second time the ball's popped out of the glove of Schumann, and it's the second time that that's cost an extra 90 feet on the base paths for the Aces. Third runner in scoring position for the Giants. 1-2 to Krieger. Side. No throw and no yell from the infield either for a throw over, but now 2-2, 2 outs. Babayev standing on third. Krieger trying to hit safely and break the scoring open. Pitch to him. Called strike 3. Sestro, his second strikeout, strands another base runner in scoring position for the Giants and will step away after 3, still 0-0 here on the Giants Broadcast Network. Welcome back on the Giants Broadcast Network. I'm David Lewis, by myself here tonight in Gaithersburg. Colin Smith with the PA job here tonight. We'll welcome back to him to the broadcast in a couple days. Always tough to do baseball by yourself because have no one alongside you for some of these long pauses. But both pitchers making that. Riley Horton will step up for his second at-bat. First pitch hopped out of the glove of Hughes. Missed upstairs, 1-0. This pitch now misses way low, 2-0 to Horton. Excuse me, Norton, that is. Two-0. Put on the ground and foul right past the Aces dugout. 2-1. I did hockey by myself basically the entire winter, so a big mix-up for me to do baseball by myself. Now swing and a miss upstairs. 2-2. Carls has nicely located that elevated fastball, as pretty much every hitter has swung under it. 2-2. Put on the ground. White has this one hop over his head and into left field. Circling is Norton on his way to second, and he has a stand-up double.
Next up, Dom. This is Ida.
So just after Norton looked like a fool on the previous swing and miss, makes Zach White look like a fool. White having to duck out of the way at that one as it came really fast off the bat and hopped up over his head. Looked like it may have clipped the lip of the infield grass, which gave it that aggressive hop. Hard to handle for Zach White. First pitch swinging and lofted into center field. Caught at the warning track, sent to third. Now is Norton.
Number 40, Gavin Egan.
Productive out for Zayab Zeta. And now the first run of the game is 90 feet away to possibly give the Aces a 1-0 lead. Ball traveled 339. First pitch misses upstairs to Gavin Degnan. That pitch also barely misses belt high. Now 2-0. Carl's feeling a little bit of pressure now with Norton dancing around on third. 2-0 from Carls. That one right down Broadway. 2-1. Yes, that fly out by Zayab Zeta. 339 of the 350 it takes to get to the fence. 2-1. Tipped back into the glove of Hughes. 2-2 to Degnan. Gavin Degnan reached on an error to third baseman Zach White his first time up. This one he fouls right back into the netting. Count will stay at 2-2. Fences here at Criswell Automotive Field, 350 all the way around. 2-2. Misses outside, full count to Degnan. A strikeout here would eliminate the sacrifice opportunity for the Aces, and a walk would give the Aces a really nice runners on the corners with just one out. Full count pitch. Check swing. He did go. Tag is applied. They said no tag, and now the throwdown is in time. Home plate umpire, originally home plate, but said there was no tag. Degnan luckily didn't run it out thinking he had already been tagged, and the throwdown was in time. Norton stayed on third. 2 outs now. First pitch fouled off by Schumann. So the throwdown completes the strikeout. That's Carl's third punch-out of this game. Oh, 1 pitched low, called ball. Giants had their own. That pitch misses inside. Now 2-1, excuse me. Two and 1. Now 2-2. Carl's one nice pitch away from getting out of this inning and stranding Norton on third. Looking at his fourth punch out. 2-2, 2 outs. Pitch from Carl's bounces in and nicely kept in front by Colin Hughes. Count will go full. Norton will be running on this pitch. Full count, 2 outs. Aces trying to open the scoring. Carl's pitch put on the ground. Or fields it cleanly. Race to the bag. Or wins it by multiple strides. A phenomenal job by him to recover after the leadoff double from Riley Norton. Will step away as the Giants look to get the first run of the game in the bottom of the fourth here on the Giants Broadcast Network. Welcome back to Gaithersburg. Tomas Sestro out on the mound again for the Aces. He's gotten through 3 innings, which he was unable to do in his first appearance of the season. He also currently has a 0 up on the board for the Giants, which he also wasn't able to do in his first start. But Joey Nicholson will try and change that to start things off here in the bottom of the fourth. First pitch to Nicholson. Misses way outside. Count to go 1-0. Sestro starting last inning off with 2 pitches and 2 outs. Tough to complain at that. 1-0. Check swing by Nicholson called. Painting it nicely was Sestro. 1-1. Nicholson looks at that one as it breaks back over the plate at 79. Count goes to 1-2. Nicholson flew out to right his first time up to end that first inning. 1-2. Fouls this one back and he stays alive to see another pitch. By Nicholson. He adjusts his elbow guard and will step back in now. Box, but by Nicholson. That'll bring up Colin Hughes, who walked to lead things off back in the second inning. First pitch to Hughes. Clips just belt high at 90. Clips just belt high at 90 for an 0-1 start on Colin Hughes. 0-1. Swing and a miss. Hughes may have gotten a small piece of it, but it goes back into the glove of DJ Schumann. Now he's down 0-2. Now he's down 0-2. Peterson for who walked that was for Zach White. Zach White at 4 for Thomas. He has at 4 for Thomas. He has been dealing. Broke the streak against Powell, who stands in the on-deck circle. Struck him out, and then forced Aiden Marino into a double play to end that second inning. Now a little bit of a ugh. 2-1. 2-1. That hit Zach White, and he is aboard. So Zach White raising that on-base percentage as the sun starts to set here in Gaithersburg. Brady Powell, who struck out his first time up. Misses outside. 1-0. One 0 to Powell. Mrs. Destro creating some of his own issues here. Seemed to find the zone really nicely on the first two hitters of this inning, Nicholson and Hughes. But after hitting White, has had some issues here with Powell. Powell with just 3 hits to start this one. Pickoff attempt, no tag applied. Zach White back in safely. Powell misses high and outside. 3-1 now to Powell. One pitch. Inside called strike. Powell thought he may have had a free pass. And we'll have to get back in the batter's box here for full count. 2 outs. Zach White on first. To Brady Powell. And that'll bring up Aiden Marino, who grounded into a double play to end that second inning. Now has a runner in scoring position. Giants' 4th runner in scoring position tonight. They've been unsuccessful with the first 3. Can Marino deliver here? 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th in a 0-0 ball game. First pitch to Marino, fouled off back into the fence, and it's 0-1. White on second, Powell on first. Two. Sestro trying to shut down this Giants offense that's tried to apply pressure. A lot of it with 2 outs. 0-2. Misses upstairs. Marino wasn't fooled for a second. Pretty much kept the bat still as the pitch came in. Now 1-2 to number 1, shortstop for the Giants. 2 gone here in the bottom of the 4th. 2 base runners for Marino. Thought that may have been a called strike 3 anyway, but it was indeed a called ball just outside. Now 2-2, 2 outs, 2 base runners. Pitch to Marino. Swung on deep into left field. Backtracking is Peterson under it to make the grab and end the inning. Marino waited for his pitch and he got base runners on. It's still 0-0 as we go to the 5th inning here from Gaithersburg on the Giants Broadcast Network. Welcome back for the 5th inning. Nick Carl's out again for the Giants, as the Giants yet again strand 2 base runners. Swing and a miss from Braden Hubner, another Ball State guy. He's down 0-1 to start this at bat. Swing and a miss again. Now he's down 0-2. Carl's eyeing his fourth strikeout here to start the fifth inning. 0-2. Fouled off into the netting. Hubner stays alive. Oh and 2. Check swing. Umpire says he went, and it is the fourth strikeout for Nick Carls. And it's the first out of the top of the fifth for the Towson Tiger. There's always a short delay to get the call from the first base umpire. And he says that Hubner went around. Owen Peterson squares to bunt. Lofts this one high. And foul. Did a similar thing his first time up, squaring to bunt. Ended up lining out to Brady Powell when he swung away right after that for the Naval Academy cadet. 0-1 to Owen Peterson. Now 1-1. Count goes to 2-1. Carl's adjusts his shoe a little bit. Carl's actually wearing a smile right now. 2-1. This one popped straight up and over the netting and out of play. 2-2. Carl's now looking for back-to-back strikeouts. Could be his fifth strikeout of his second start of the summer. 2-2 from Carl's. Just misses low. Count will go full. Full count with one away. Misses outside. And Owen Peterson is aboard with a walk. That'll bring up the top of the order in Trip Capers. Capers 0 for 2 thus far. Struck out on 3 pitches his first time up and popped up to the shortstop Marino back in the top of the third. First pitch to Capers. Now back pick attempt. Tag applied just late as Peterson gets back by the skin of his teeth. 1-0 to Capers. As Peterson takes off. Called strike. The throw down. Not in time. Powell reapplied the tag to see if he could maybe get Peterson, who almost came off the bag with how fast he was running and his slide. But now he's in scoring position, just the second runner in scoring position for the Aces. 1-1. Misses low. Now 2-1. And with that previous back pick, I was really curious to see how eager Colin Hughes would be to throw back picks. We've seen the other two catchers, Zach White and Ethan McNally, for the Giants, love to throw those back picks here in the early going of the season. That one misses in the same spot as the previous one. 3-1 the count to the leadoff man for the Aces, Trip Capers. After him, it'll be Derek Almeida, who had a loud single his previous time up. 3-1 to Capers here. This one hit hardly into left field. That's down for a base hit. On his way home is Peterson. And it'll be the first run of the game. Throw into second. Tag applied. In time. So the run scores. But Capers outstretch into second.
Next up to the plate, Derek Almeida.
A phenomenal throw from Babayev in left. Limits the damage to 1 run for now. And that'll bring up Derek Almeida. And makes it through this one as the Giants look here on the Giants. Welcome back, Rock, against Kitco. Kitco has appeared in 1 game, 2 innings pitched, gave up just 1 hit and 2 strikeouts. Was completely shut down in that first appearance. First pitch to Weiss misses low. Looking to shut down this ever so constant Giants offense. Has stranded numerous base runners. Off man Weiss. 2-0 pitch from Kitco. Finds the outside part of the zone at 82. Count will go to 2-1. That one may have been had more outside. 2-1 swing and a miss from Weiss, who winces at that one. Ground. Hubner fields it at second and makes the throw over to first in time for out number 1. Or 1 for 2 in this game. Popped out to the shortstop Almeida, his first time up. Late on this one and fouled into the netting to go down 0-1. This one fouled up and out of play now. Lands right next to the soccer field to my right, avoiding any of those playing the wonderful game of football. This one goes into the opposite batter's box, and the count will go 1-2 to Danny Orr, the UMBC retriever, rising sophomore. 1-2. This one hit into shallow center field. Under it to make the grab is Capers, which he does for the second out here in the bottom of the 5th. And that'll bring up Aaron Babayev, who is 1 for 1 in this game. Walked his first time up in the first inning, singled his second time up, reached second on a pass ball, and then would make his way to third with a stolen base, but did not come around to score back in the 3rd inning. Kitco takes his time, delivers now. Loops this one outside at 68. Some gets in the eye of DJ Schumann. So we'll get a stop and play. Home plate umpire takes this time to clean off the plate, and we'll get going again. 1-0 count to Aaron Babayev, currently in the portal from the College of San Mateo. Began his collegiate career at Tulane. 1-0. Babayev hits this one hard into right center field, back towards the fence, and that one makes its way off the fence. Babayev will hold up at second. Was inches away from tying this game, but it stays in the park, and Babayev and the outfielders Degnan and Capers nearly came together as the ball reached the top part of that fence. The fence gets to 12 feet out there from left center to right center, as it's 350 all the way around. And those are where the home runs go, to those just where the 12-foot wall comes in. First pitch to Magnus Krieger, misses low. So Aaron Babayev continues. Krieger trying to come through here for the Giants and respond to the Aces' lone run in the top of the fifth. Babayev dances on second. Krieger late on this one. Fouled up into the netting. Count goes to 2-1. Krieger with a little bit of frustration as soon as it left his bat. Knew that would do any damage. 2-1 with 2 away. Up. Almeida, who yet again, Babayev stranded. Lead that they got. Under the lights here from Criswell Automotive Field on the Giants broadcast network. New pitcher on the mound for the Giants as Nick Carl's day is done. It's Jaden Ovilas. Ovilas making his third appearance in this young season. In his first 2 appearances, 2 2/3 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 walk, but 5 strikeouts, and no runs surrendered thus far. Has given up just 1 lone extra base hit. It was a double, but that runner didn't come around to score. And now he'll face Gavin Miller to start off this 6th inning. Carl's 5-inning appearance, the longest thus far for a Giants starter early in this season. Colin Hughes wants a word with his new pitcher, Ovilas. Ovilas also in the portal. The sophomore lefty. Trying to keep this a 1-run lead for the Aces and keep the Giants in it. First pitch to Miller. Right down the heart of the zone, and it's 0-1 to the Pitt Panther. 0-1. Loops this one outside, 0-2. Really nice pitch at 72 to come back over the outside part of the plate. All Miller could do was look at it by the time it made its way into the zone. 0-2 for Ovilas. Tried to locate that same pitch, 73, but this one stayed true outside, and Miller doesn't bite. One, two. Elevated at 76. That one misses. Count will go even at 2-2. Ovilas with 5 of the 8 outs he's recorded this season via the strikeout. 2-2. This one slapped into right field. Nicholson under it and makes the nice easy grab for out number 1.
Number 14, Riley Norton.
That brings up Riley Norton, who is 1 for 2 in this game. Had a double his last time up back in the 4th inning. Struck out his first time up to end the first. First pitch to Norton is inside. Almost having to get out of the way of it was Norton. But he's up 1-0 on Ovilas. This one does hit Norton after a near miss on the first pitch. And Norton's aboard via hit by pitch for Odom for Zayab Zeta. And if he pulls one nicely to Nicholson, he can make it the entire outfield. Doesn't pull the trigger on the first pitch. He's up 1-0. 1-0. Zayab Zeta has this one drill him right in the back. And back-to-back hit by pitches for Ovilas.
Now at the plate for the Aces, Gavin Egan.
That brings up Gavin Degnan. And now pitching coach Vinny. Back-to-back guys on the opposite sides of the plate is not a great sign for Ovilas, who didn't have any of those issues in his first 2 appearances, but now finds himself in a jam here. A nice ground ball will easily end this inning with a double play, but Gavin Degnan, comes up to the plate. Degnan thus far has struggled, still looking for his first hit, but has a runner in scoring position to make that first hit just the more sweeter. Reached on an error his first time up, struck out his last time up. First pitch to Degnan. Late on this one, and it's popped out of play and onto the soccer field. Degnan down 0-1. The Penn Quaker trying to send earthquakes through Gaithersburg. In trouble locating his fastball, that one missing way upstairs. 1-1. This one hit hard into left field, and that's down for a base hit, makes its way to the fence. Norton will score easily on his way home, and stopping at third is Zayab Zeta, and now it's 2-0 from a double off the bat of Degnan. Wisely holding up was Zayab Zeta, as the relay would have likely been at least in time to get him out at home. Now 2 runners in scoring position for DJ Schumann. First pitch cracks this one into center field. Ruiz backtracking, looks up, and cannot make the grab. It's over the fence. A 3-run blast from DJ Schumann has broken this game open, and it's 5-0 Aces. The first home run is straightaway center, and it's now 5-0 Aces in the top of the 6th. That'll bring up Braden Hubner. First pitch to Hubner inside. And talked about center field where the fence is 12 feet is where most of the homers go. And you could hear someone from the Aces dugout say, doesn't matter how far it went, just as long as it went. And that is indeed the case, as it went probably just over the 350 required, and I mean just, to clear that fence in straightaway center. Misses. Davey steps back up of 5 for the Aces. First pitch scoring to bunt is Peterson, but he pulls back as the ball, as it's a called ball, outside on the lefty. 1-0 finds the zone. Breaks a streak of 5 straight balls for Ovilas. That one misses outside. Now 2-1. This one put on the ground and gets past Marino at short. And now it's another first and second situation with the single from Owen Peterson, and TJ Brockway will take the ball from Jaden Ovilas here in the top of the 6th. Ovilas just records 1 out that he got in the first batter he faced, a flyout of Gavin Miller Jr., and after that, the Aces had their way with Ovilas. As a new arm comes in to warm up for the Giants, we will step away here on the Giants Broadcast Network. Welcome back to Gaithersburg. The Aces have put up 4 here in the top of the 6th. Alex Cromwell, the new arm on for the Giants. The sophomore from Towson has 2 base runners to deal with here in just 1 out. He faces the top of the order in Trip Capers. First pitch. Runner goes. Chopped foul. And the count will go 0-1. And it looked like to me that Ace's base running coach, the same one that Peterson got, because Peterson took off very much on the throw. Hubner, not so much. Making his 3rd appearance of the season, 1 1/3 innings pitched. Has 2 strikeouts to his name. Looking for the 3rd of the season. Up 0-2 here on Capers. Misses low at 90. So in case you're just joining us, a 3-run blast from DJ Schumann is what broke this open. But just before that, Gavin Degnan with a RBI double. Looping curveball with an 1 for 3 in this one. He's down 1-2. This one misses outside, gets past Colin Hughes. Runners will advance. No contest. And the count evens at 2-2. In the top of the 6th. This one does not break over the strike zone, and the count will go full. Colin Hughes will have a word with Cromwell. Cromwell started off this at-bat nicely on Capers, went up 0-2. Now Hughes trying to help his pitcher get this punch out, as the double play has been eliminated due to that wild pitch moments ago, as Hughes makes his way back to home plate. And Nick Carls for the Giants were dueling through 4, all zeros, before the Aces got to the Giants bullpen. Full count pitch is fouled and makes its way through the netting. Luckily for me, it was deflected enough. Again, just 1 out here in the top of the 6th. Lined hardly to Marino, who fields it on a hop, throws over, or doesn't make the stretch play. 1 run scores. Peterson stops at 3rd, and Capers goes into 2nd. Fielded it nicely after it took a kind of a short hop, but had to give Danny Orr a long stretch. And Orr, again, for the 2nd time tonight, had that one just go under his glove. First pitch to Almeida is fouled off. That pitch reaching 89. Oh, 1. This one hit hard, foul into the Giants bullpen, and actually hit one of the light posts here and bounced back into play. Joey Nicholson will throw this back in. 0-2 now to Derek Almeida. Pitch from Cromwell. Strike 3 called. Nice slider at 75 to break back over the plate. Gets the 2nd out of the inning.
25, Gavin Miller.
And that brings up Gavin Miller. And the Aces have now batted around in this inning. Gavin Miller was the first batter in this inning and was the first out. He fouls off the first pitch. Jaden Ovilas, the previous pitcher for the Giants, got him to fly out on about 4 pitches. And then after that, back-to-back hit by pitches, an RBI double, and then a 3-run home run, followed by a walk, and then a single from Owen Peterson, and then the reach-it-on error for Trip Capers. is how we got here. This one lined and past the diving Marino. Peterson scores. Around comes Capers. It's another 2 runs and a 2 RBI single for Gavin Miller. Makes it 8-0 Aces.
Now batting number 14, Riley Norton.
And this will bring up Riley Norton, who was the first of those back-to-back hit-by pitches. Count goes to 0-1. Cromwell looked like, after that strike 3 on Almeida, that he might have seen the light to get out of this inning, but now a 7 spot here in the top of the 6th for the Aces. Pitches outside. Count evens at 1-1. Full. 2 for 3. This is plate 7. And what was a 1-0 lead to start the 6th inning is now an 8-0 lead for Alexandria. And we'll step away as the Giants will try and respond here in the bottom of the 6th on the Gaithersburg Giants Broadcast Network. Welcome back to Gaithersburg. I'm David Lewis with you here from Criswell Automotive Field. Michael Kitko back on the mound for the Aces. Came in to start his relief appearance with 1 run of support, but now has 8 total. In case you missed it, 7 runs. Nicholson fouled up into the netting. Count goes 1-1 that first inning. The issue for the Giants has been a lot of their pressure and base runners has come with 2 outs, not giving them a lot of leg room, so to speak, and leeway. Nicholson, lots of pressure with 2 outs, not giving yourself room for any sacrifice hits. 2-1, Nicholson hits this one hard straight through the infield, leaving the bat at 102. And he's aboard to start the inning, and that's exactly what you need to do to start a response to a 7-run inning, is get the leadoff guy aboard in Joey Nicholson. That'll bring up Colin Hughes. Walked his first time up, flew out to left. His second time up now looks to start a hit train with Nicholson reaching on that 102 exit velo. This one's cracked into straightaway center. Capers looking up. He makes the grab. He drops the ball. Nicholson on his way to third. Hughes into second. And just like that, the Giants have 2 runners in scoring position. Capers basically draped himself up against the outfield fence and did not come up with that baseball. It was only hit 337. Up that maybe Capers lost it in between the lights and the sky, or in that time of night here in the summer where as the fielders switch their eyes from the sunshine to the lights, they can lose the ball in the in-between moments like right now. Brings up Zach White. White, first pitch, puts this one on the ground to the shortstop on the run. Gets the first out, but the first run of the game for the Giants scores. And now it's 8-1 with one away here in the bottom of the second.
Brady, foul.
And wisely, Colin at third keeps a runner in scoring position for Brady Powell. First pitch to Powell. Thought about swinging, lays off the 77 just above the belt. "1-0 by Powell is fouled off. Count evens at 1-1. So contact from three straight Giants batters has plated their first run of the game. Powell could maybe make it 2 runs plated here in the bottom of the 6th. Pitch misses outside, 2-1. Powell struck out his first time up, walked his last time up back in the 4th inning. Two and one. Pitch from Kitco. Based off his body language, Powell definitely did not like that call. Nice frame job from DJ Schumann behind the plate for now. Comebacker. Straight to Kitco. In a pickle. Hughes stands flipped. And tagged out at second by the shortstop Almeida, who gives the pitcher his props. Gets Colin Hughes in a pickle. And the second out of the inning, Brady Powell will stand on first. Love of Michael Kitco. I believe that's manager Chris Bursett checking on his pitcher Michael Kitco. Kitco appears to be all right. And now Aiden Marino will step in. Marino grounded into a double play and flew out. First pitch to Marino, fouled off. He's down 0-1. So it has been 4 straight batters that have made hard contact on Kitco, but only 2 have hit safely. The first 2 in Nicholson and Colin Hughes. This pitch clips just belt high, little on the outside corner. And now Marino's down 0-2 with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Every base runner matters for the Giants as they try and claw back at this mountain of a lead that the Aces have built. Runner goes. This one popped up in foul territory. Under it to make the grab is Riley Norton to end the 6th inning. The Aces plated 7 in the top of the 6th. The Giants respond with 1 of their own. It's now 8-1 as we go to the 7th inning here from Gaithersburg on the Giants Broadcast Network. Welcome back to Gaithersburg. I'm David Lewis with you on the Giants Broadcast Network. After a chaotic top of the sixth inning for the Giants, they now find themselves down 7 heading into the Odom Zayab-Zeta up first for the Aces. Zayab-Zeta, the second of the hit-by-pitch, second of 2 consecutive hit-by-pitch batters. He is the lefty, is laid on that one. Zeta flew out his first 2 times up. He's now down 0-2 to Alex Cromwell. Cromwell shakes off twice. Who steps on first. 2 pitch. And last inning, when the Aces plated 7, Gavin Miller, who was the leadoff guy in that inning, flew out, and then after that, it was 7 consecutive runners to reach base safely. First pitch misses that, a double got him 1 RBI, and then he would come around to score. Second pitch misses. He's up 2-0 on Cromwell. That one misses again, now 3-0. So after a quick ground out to start the inning, Cromwell now down 3-0 to Gavin Degnan. 4-pitch walk for the Penn Quaker. And another base runner for the Aces brings up DJ Schumann, who had the long ball and the cherry on top for the Aces, barely getting over that 350. That's what really broke this game open. First pitch to Schumann outside. Now 5 straight balls for Alex Cromwell. One-0, misses upstairs. 2-0, 6 straight balls for Cromwell. Who has to find a way to relocate the zone. Two-0. Misses outside. 3-0. 7 straight balls for Cromwell. And a 7-run deficit is already a tall order here in the late stages of this game, but putting 2 men on with 1 out is exactly what will happen here to Alex Cromwell. 2 4-pitch walks, back-to-back 4-pitch walks. And that'll bring up Braden Hubner. And this could go from bad to worse for the Giants. Cromwell has to find a way here. Swing and a miss on the first pitch from Hubner. And that's exactly where Cromwell wanted to start after 8 straight balls and back-to-back walks. He's able to break that streak. And now he's up 0-1 on Hubner. Finds it again, called strike 2. Nicely makes it 0-2. This one popped up, tailing foul. Orrin Nicholson having to range over. Full of the foul fencing pen. Count remains 0-2 here to Braden Hubner. Time called, as it appears Nicholson wasn't in his spot yet. Umpire giving him the time to get back there. And now we can go again. 0-2 from Cromwell. And a half swing from Hubner just gets enough of it to foul it off and stay alive. Caught the neck of the bat and gave his hands a bit of a jitter. Had to shake him off for a minute. Steps back in now. Hubner down 0-2 to Cromwell. Runner on first and second. Fouls this one back into the netting. And Colin Hughes makes a nice catch off the netting. Throws it right back to Cromwell. 0-2, 1 out. Runner on first and second for the Aces. Cromwell's pitch. Called strike 3 on the inside corner. It's a third punch out for Alex Cromwell, and there's 2 gone here in the top of the 7th. That brings up Owen Peterson. 1 for 2 tonight. 2 runs scored, walked, and the single his last time up came around both times. First pitch called strike at 85 to Peterson. 0-1 misses. Hughes has to go around the world with it to put it in his throwing hand. Gets it back to Cromwell. Count evens 1-1. Degnan on second. Schumann on first. That pitch loops outside at 74. 2-1 the count now to Peterson. Two one, 2 outs. Way high and outside. Now 3-1 to Peterson. Hitters count now for Owen Peterson, who's already walked once in this game. And he walks a second time. It's now bases loaded with 2 outs for the top of the order in Trip Capers.
Number 5, Trip Capers.
3 walks in this inning for Cromwell, and that will warrant a pitching change. TJ Brockway will come out. 3 walks in this inning, but 3 strikeouts for Cromwell in this relief outing after he came in last inning with 2 runners on base. He'll now exit, leaving 3. 2 gone here in the top of the 7th, and we'll be right back here on the Giants Broadcast Network as a new pitcher warms up for Gaithersburg. Welcome back to Gaithersburg here on the Giants Broadcast Network. I'm David Lewis, riding solo tonight, and it's bases loaded here in the top of the 7th. 2 outs for Hudson Greens, pitched 4 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned, and 2 walks for him. And he has a tough task as he comes into this game with 3 base runners and the top of the Aces lineup up at bat in Trip Capers. The George Mason product is 1 for 3. Reached on an error his last time up. First pitch from Green misses low and in the dirt. Now 1-0. Capers fouls this one off and out of play. Count will even 1-1. Ball hits the crossbar of one of the nets on the soccer field. You talk about the crossbar challenge, and Nick Capers just did that. Had that one tail all the way about 100 or so feet onto the soccer field to my right. 1-1 from Green. Swing and a miss by Capers. 1-2. Green one pitch away from getting out of a huge jam. 1-2, 2 outs. He comes in with bases loaded and strikes out the top of the order in Trip Capers, and will go to the bottom of the 7th, stretching here in Gaithersburg as the Giants try and come back down 7 here on the Giants Broadcast Network. Welcome back to Gaithersburg, Maryland, as we have stretched here at Criswell. We'll have to face a new arm in Lucas Smith, the junior from the University of Illinois, Chicago. The tall lefty will go up against Brady Ruiz-Weiss, the top of the Giants' order, to try and mount a comeback here. On the back of all the Giants uniforms are the letters G and Q for Giants Never Quit, and they'll have to put that slogan on display here. Weiss squares to bunt, fouls that one off. He's down 0-1. Fields it nicely at that. Tosses it over to Norton for out number 1. That brings up Danny Orr. Smith has made one appearance thus far this season, 1 inning pitched, 1 walk there on the bunt attempt. First pitch to Orr. Orr slaps this one into right field, and that's down for a base hit. Orr is aboard. And that'll bring up Aaron Babayev. Now 2 for 4 today. His second single of the game. Meanwhile, Babayev at the plate has reached base all 3 times. Babayev looks at the first pitch. Upstairs, ball 1. Pickoff attempt, just a nice simple throw over, no tag applied. Orr's back in safely. 1-0 from Smith on Babayev, who doubled his last time up. Pitch outside, now 2-0. 2-0 pitch. Clips the bottom part of the zone at 86. Babayev just a passenger to that one. Thought it was going to keep diving down into the dirt to go up 3-0, but stays true to the zone. Now it's 2-1. This pitch misses outside again. It's 72. Now it's 3-1. Which was headed towards him, as he thought that may have been ball 4, but breaks right back over the plate. Full count. Misses outside, and it's a walk for Babayev, his second of the night, and there's 2 aboard for the Giants. Magnus Krieger will now come up to bat. Krieger grounded into a fielder's choice, then struck out, and then grounded out his last time up. 0 for 3 thus far. Trying to change that here. Orr in scoring position on second. Babayev stands on first. 1 away here in the bottom of the 7th. Giants trying to come back. First pitch to Krieger. Almost hits him. Gets his back leg out of the way. It's 1-0 to Krieger. And outside. Now 2-0. Make that 3-0. Inside at 73. That one just clips the high outside corner of the zone. Now it's 3-1 to Magnus Krieger. The sophomore from Seton Hall, designated hitter tonight for the Giants. His bright pink bat trying to put it to use. Looks at ball 4, a thundering snap of the glove at 88, and it's bases loaded for Joey Nicholson. A meeting on the mound here with the Aces pitching coach. After a ground out of Brady Ruiz-Weiss, who bunted twice in a row, just couldn't quite get it down cleanly. Now Smith has let up a single and back-to-back walks for Joey Nicholson, who singled and is the lone run for the Giants in this game. He can change that here with a swing of the bat. First pitch to Nicholson almost gets out of the glove of Schumann behind the plate. Very close backstop here at Criswell Automotive Field. Would have been difficult for Orr to get home safely. 1-0. Catches the inside black. Now 1-1. Gonna have to shrug that one off. Didn't like the call. Now 1-1 to Joey Nicholson. Misses low. Schumann gives Smith a little nod, saying good miss on that pitch. 2-1. Inside again. Now 2-2. And that's the pitch that has made Nicholson hesitate. Both strikes in this at bat. Even at 2-2, 1 out. Lucas Smith has the bases loaded. 2-2 now. Misses upstairs, full count. Big pitch coming in this at bat. Nowhere to put Nicholson. Full count, 1 out. Giants trying to work their way back. Pitch from Smith. Inside, nearly hits Nicholson, but it will walk a run home. And it's 8-2. Giants chipping away. Bases remain loaded. 1 out remains up on the board. And that'll bring up Colin Hughes, who had a double his last time up. It's now 3 straight walks for Lucas Smith. And now Colin Hughes steps to the plate. Bases loaded for him. First pitch just misses inside. Now 1-0. Action in the Aces bullpen. Smith trying to work out of this jam. Just topped off. And it went off the foot of Hughes, which is why he remained in the box, partially in pain, but mostly because he knew that there was going to be no play. Now 1-1, 1 out to Colin Hughes. Had a nice debut for the Giants last night in Waldorf, trying to come through here and prop up this comeback. 1-1. Outside, 2-1. Right down the middle. Count evens at 2-2. This is a huge spot. If the Giants can keep this inning going, maybe keep the bases loaded even. Comes Krieger. That'll score 2. Throw into second. Gets past the second baseman. And it's 8-4 as the Giants inch ever closer. Hughes. And are coming back. And you won't want to miss this next at-bat from Zach White when we return 2 on, 1 out. And we'll get you that new arm coming in for the Aces when we come back here on the Giants Broadcast Network.
Now on the mound for the Alexandria Aces.
Welcome back to Gaithersburg.
Stephen Curry.
And a basketball name on the mound for the Aces, Stephen Curry. As the Giants have hit a 3-ball here in the bottom of the 7th to make it 8-4 now. Runner on first and second for Zach White. First pitch from Curry. Low for ball 1. 5 straight base runners for the Giants, converting on those runners in scoring position with a 2 RBI single for the man who stands on first, Colin Hughes. 1-0. Runner goes. No, it's 2-0. Believe that was call the ball. Hughes stays put on first. Stolen base there for Joey Nicholson to add to his night. Now 90 feet away from inching this team ever closer. Now Hughes steals. Pitch in, called strike, throw down. Now the throw home. Nicholson can't get around the throw. He's out at home. Hughes gets into second, but Nicholson out at home, and now there's 2 gone and just 1 runner on the base paths. Really nice throw back home to Hughes. Dirt by Zach White. Saying that name when trying to work his magic on the mound. 2-2, 2 outs. Hughes on second. And I believe mix-up is... Oh, pitch clock violation. There was some confusion and talk about a balk that I could overhear, but a pitch clock violation to Curry. We saw 2 of those last night in Waldorf. Now full count. Pitch from Curry in the dirt. And White is aboard via a walk. And now that's 6 straight safe base runners for the Giants. And now that brings up Brady Powell. Powell 0 for 2 tonight. Grounded into a fielder's choice his last time up. Swing on the inside low corner. Hindsight 2020 always. You remember that Nicholson caught stealing at home. Would have been bases loaded again with just 1 out. 0-1. Right down the middle at 92. Trackman up here says it was a little low in the zone, but for Brady Powell, that was likely pretty much middle at 92 from the hand of Stephen Curry. 0-2 now from Curry. This one hit hard and into right to left field. Around comes Hughes. The throw in cut off. No relay throw. And now it is 8-5. And closer again. That'll bring up Aiden Marino searching for his first hit tonight. And great piece of hitting by Brady Powell, down 0-2 and cranks that into the outfield. First pitch from Curry misses. Now Marino's up 1-0. White dances on second. Pitch from Curry now. Finds the zone. Evens up the count, 1 apiece. One, 2 outs. Pitch to Marino. Drops outside into the opposite batter's box. 2-1. Every pitch coming, ever more crucial as the tension builds here. What was a 7-run lead now cut, 8-0 lead, now cut to just 3. Marino stares at strike 2. Count even at 2-2. There's been 4 walks and 3 singles. Cascading effect down the lineup. Marino doesn't go. Full count yet again. Another pivotal pitch. Full count pitch. Jalla right down for a base hit. A 6th run plated for the Giants in the bottom of the 7th. 2 runners out at home has over here from Gaithersburg on the Giants Broadcast Network. Back on the mound, and he can pitch with a little more ferocious attitude now after his offense. And as I said just before the break, this game has completely flipped on its head from the early automotive field. First pitch to Derek Almeida bounces in. And I have just received word from one of the Aces players that the pitcher from last inning was not Stephen Curry, but Noah Haught, the incoming fresh. Haught was wearing number 7, Curry's number. This pitch lofted into shallow center, incoming Weiss. He makes the grab, and there's one away in the top of the 8th. So special thank you to that member of the Aces for coming up and clearing that up. Try and be as factual as possible, crediting all of what, well, some of what happened last inning to Noah Haught. One away, first pitch to Gavin Miller finds the zone. Now 0-1. Miller with a 2 RBI single his last time up. 1 for 4. Swing and a miss. Great pitch there from Green. And now he's up 0-2 on Miller. (0-2). Fouled off by Miller. And Green, a lefty who kind of throw reliever for the for the Giants. Gonzalez, however, a righty. This one fouled off again by Miller. Both Gonzalez and Green sidewinders. Green actually goes with a little bit of a lower arm angle than Gonzalez even. This one fouled up and just over the netting, out of play. Stays in the park, however, off the fence that divides the baseball field and the soccer field. 0-2, the count remains on Gavin Miller. Pitch from Green. Misses upstairs at 77. Now 1-2. This one breaks back over the plate, it looked like, at 66, but just enough outside to be a called ball. Now even 2-2 to Gavin Miller. That one misses upstairs. Now full count. Green got up 0-2 on Miller, then 2 fouls by Miller, and now 3 straight balls. Full count pitch. Fouled off again. Miller staying alive. Really nice at bat for him. Green trying to get the second out of this inning. Trying to get the Giants back to the plate after they chipped away a huge chunk of that 8-0 lead. Full count pitch. Hits Miller, and a base runner aboard for the Aces with one out. Gavin Miller hit by pitch. So Green letting Miller get away after he had him 0-2. And it almost looked like it may have hit the knob of the bat just from my angle. Miller having to shrug it off as he winced a little bit in pain. Now stands on first. Riley Norton. First pitch to Norton misses just above the belt at 70. 1-0. This one goes way outside, and a phenomenal job by Colin Hughes behind the plate to keep that from getting to the backstop. He was able to pretty much bat it down, locating that. Odom Zayazada steps to the plate. Vinny Capozzo. Odom Zayazada steps to the plate. Vinny Capozzo will come out. Pitching coach for the Giants have a word with Green. He gets the fly out of Derek Almeida to start this inning, and then has Gavin Miller 0-2 before Miller battles back. 5-pitch walk. Tough sledding here for Hudson Green. A ground ball could end this inning very efficiently for the Giants and get them back to the bats that were. Was 2 runners out at the plate for the Giants, and had they not been out or had stayed at home, it could have been a tie ball game, or at least just a 1-run ball game, as Nicholson surely would have scored following him being caught stealing at home. Zayab Zeta, first pitch, misses outside, 1-0. Zayab Zada, 0 for 3, hit by pitch tonight. 2-1, 1-0. Swing and a miss, tipped it into the glove of Hughes. Count even, 1-1, 63. The slowest pitch that I have seen thus far in the Cal Ripken League this season. One and one. Fouled off again. Now 1-2. Gonna look for the put away here from Green. That one's 63 again. He's now up 1-2. Pitch from Green. Swing and a miss! And 2 gone here in the top of the 8th. Hudson Green, a phenomenal pitch. His second strikeout. Great job on the put-away pitch. Dialed up nicely, 63, 63, and then 66. First pitch to Gavin Degnan. Green finds the outside part of the zone. Now 1-1, 65. And all Degnan could do was tilt his head as that one just slowly came back over the outside portion of that plate. 1-1. Misses upstairs. 2-1. Hughes quickly right back to Green. Wants him to work. 2-1. 2 outs. Bounces in. Hughes can't keep that one in front of him, as tough hop to handle. And both runners advance now. 2 runners in scoring position. 3-1 count to Degnan. Swing and a miss by Degnan. 76. Green switching it up there. This one hit hard into right center field. Tracking is Nicholson. Makes the grab. Trouble on the base pass for Green. Gets out of it. And now the Giants, after plating 5 in the bottom of the 7th, now have a chance to tie things up in the bottom of the 8th. Only down 2 now. And will Welcome back to Gaithersburg. I'm David Lewis here on the Gaithersburg Giants Broadcast Network from Gaithersburg, Maryland. And the Gaithersburg Giants are down 2, 8-6 in the bottom of the 7th, 5 runs plated. And now the top of the order will come up again. And once again, it is Noah Haught on the mound for the Aces, not Stephen Curry. Haught rostered as number 37, but wearing number 7 here tonight. First pitch to Weiss. Bounces in. 1-0. So Weiss was the only batter last inning to not reach base. Led off and grounded out to the pitcher. Fouls this one away. Count evens 1-1. And 1-1. Trying to get his first punch out. Came in relief of Lucas Smith. 1-2 from Haught. Weiss lays off 2-2 as that one bounces in the dirt. Haught gets a new ball. This one Brady Weiss lays off again. Full count. Here. But it's the first punch out for Haught. And it's the first out here in the 8th inning. That'll bring up Danny Orr. 2 for 4 tonight. 2 singles and a run. Called strike 1. Schumann framing that up nicely. On this one put on the ground to the shortstop Almeida, who throws it over to Norton for out number 2.
Now at bat, number 11, Aaron Babayev.
That'll bring up Aaron Babayev with 2 gone in the bottom of the 8th. Haught delivers now to Babayev. Swinging and missing at the first pitch. 82 cutting to his back leg. And Babayev getting fooled there. Will have to step back in. Called strike. Clipping just at knee level. 2 walks, a double and a single, a run and a stolen base. All for Babayev. 0-2 now to him. Misses out low and outside at 91 from Haught. 1-2, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th. So Babayev aboard all 5 times tonight, this time by catcher's interference. Thought for a second Babayev tipped it back into Schumann, but clipped the glove, and that was indicated by the fact Schumann immediately took off his glove to shake off his hand. Ball's not going to do that if it ends up going into your glove, especially after it being tipped. Catcher's interference, Babayev on first, Krieger at the plate now. First pitch to Krieger inside, 1-0. Inning. 1-0 now to the Seton Hall Pirate. Fouled back into the netting. Count evens at 1-1. And for Giants fans who remember, the Seton Hall Pirate of last year, Aiden Robbins, had a phenomenal year. Pretty much year-round. Had a great freshman year 2 springs ago. This pitch to Krieger called strike 2. And then comes here to the Giants last summer, tears it up, then gets called up to the Cape, where then he wins the Cape Cod League. The team he joined, the Harwich Mariners, lost, I believe, 2 games after he joined. And then this past spring, named the Big East playoff, stays alive. Hoping to channel what his teammate Aiden Robbins did for the Giants all last season, coming in the clutch. 1-2, 2 outs with Babayev on first. Pitch from Haught. This one hit hard and into left field. Babayev will come to third. Krieger into second. And now 2 runners in scoring position for Joey Nicholson. That has seen enough of Haught. So Krieger with a double puts 2 runners in scoring position and will put another new arm on the mound for the Aces. And we'll get you that new name for the 8th. Runners on second and third. Magnus Krieger on second. Aaron Babayev on third. 2 outs. Joey Nicholson at the plate. New arm on the mound. Adam Lehman, the righty sophomore from Western Michigan, will step on the mound here for the Aces and try and keep the Giants at bay.
Number 32, Adam Lehman.
Plate, walked, had a stolen bases last time up. First pitch, Nicholson just late on that one. 77 over the plate, fouled off. Nicholson's going to want that one back. It was a great pitch for him to hit. Almost barreled it up. And the Magnus Krieger double left the bat at 102. And that was part of the reason why Haught saw his day end. 0-1. Lehman. Pitch called, strike 2. Great pitch, 88. On that inside part of the plate. Nicholson now going to have to find a way to come through here. 0-2, 2 outs. Big opportunity here for the Giants. We're once down 8-0. Nicholson chops this one over to short. Fields it nicely. Throw over. Not there! Bye-bye here in Gaithersburg. May not have been the prettiest way, but reaching on an error and scoring a run is Joey Nicholson. And that brings up Colin Hughes. Runners on the corner. 2 RBI single his last time up. Krieger on third. First pitch. Hughes chops this one over to Hubner. Tough hop. He fields it and throws it on over to first. That ends the 8th inning. The Giants plate another one. Colin Hughes frustrated with himself. It was a good pitch to swing at, just didn't get a great piece of it. It's a 1-run ball game here in Gaithersburg. We go to the final frame as we pass the 3-hour mark of this broadcast on the Giants Broadcast Network. Welcome back on the Giants Broadcast Network. I'm David Lewis, and if you had asked me 3 innings ago, well, 2.5 innings ago, how I felt, it would have been 8-0, and I would have told you it would have taken a lot to get back in this game, but now the Giants only down 1, 8-7 as we start the 9th inning. Cody Sharman now on the mound for the Giants, a returner from last year's team, the sophomore from Frostburg State. First pitch from Sharman misses outside. 1-0 to DJ Schumann. Schumann, whose blast is the difference in this game. Now that misses, that finds the zone. Now 1-1. Had a 3-run blast back in the.
Number 12, Cody Sharman.
Misses outside. 2-1. Beginning 1. Now 3-1. That ball in the dirt. Going to do my best to deliver in the clutch as long as the zone just misses inside. A leadoff walk for Schumann. And that'll. Infielders for the Giants don't like the call. They thought that was strike 3. Home plate umpire doesn't agree. Now Braden Hubner up at the plate. 0 for 3 tonight. Has a walk. Swing and a miss there from Hubner. Oh 1. Pitch from Sharman. Inside. Evened up one apiece. To locate. One, two. Trying to keep Schumann honest. Elects to eat it. Count even 2-2.
Number 10, Owen Peterson.
Brings up Owen Peterson. Squares to. Sharman delivers. This one cracked off the mound. Powell backhands. Steps on second. Delivers the throw to end the top of the. Will be due up at bat when we go to the bottom of the ninth. Lewis, a one-run ball game, and the Aces have 3 outs to win it, or the Giants have 3 outs to tie it, or answered. Now he can. Really nice. White takes that one for strike 2. 2 outs, and they did exactly that last inning, trying to avoid that same fate. 1-2. Misses upstairs. 2. 2-2 to White, and that'll a pitcher's. 0-1 from Lehman. Almost a check swing. Under it to make the grab. Pete steps to the plate. 0. 7th inning for the Giants. 7th inning for the Giants. Likely was very nearly to the batter's box. Likely was very nearly to the batter's box. Was very nearly to the batter's box. 3-1 box. 3-1 side, and the side, and the tag applause. Can he come through? One. Pitch from Lehman. Called strike 2 at 74. Called strike 2 at 74. Bridger to that one. For end this one. To at least give them one. For end this one. To at least give themselves a shot. Tagged out at home for the Giants from bounce back to at home for the Giants from bounce back tomorrow. The 7 out Criswell Automotive Field. The final 3-7 out Criswell Automotive Field. The final 3+